Well, welcome to day 2000. Uh, it's been 2000 days in this ordeal, and I thought I would make a video because of that number, and because I haven't made one in a while. And just kind of give a heads up on what's going on without giving too much detail, because I'm still trying to keep a low profile and what's the word? Stay out of the I guess I'm afraid of the transgender community finding out where I am. I haven't done anything wrong. I just feel that the information that I have and my story is not popular with the transgender community, and Dr. Suporn and the operation, if you will, of transitioning and getting surgery. All of that seems like it's pretty much at risk for my story. So I haven't met any friends in the transgender community that have accepted my story. As soon as I tell them, they go in the opposite direction. So anyways, it's been about 5.5 months since I made a video, and 2000 days ago is about 5.5 years now since I was since I started experiencing complications on day 9 post-op in Thailand while I was recovering from a sex change with Dr. Suporn Watanyusakul in Chonburi, Thailand, in 2009. So July 31st in 2009 was day 9 post-op. Well, I should tell you where I'm sitting. This is a hotel room, and I'm in the corner because it's late at night. So I was so adamant about creating a video and not really having a place to do it that's private. So I'm in a hotel room, and it's late, and I don't want to wake up people. So I had to spend about $75 for the hotel room just to make this video, and I've already said in the past that part of the reason I haven't been making videos is because just the responses that I get every time I make one. I get some really raunchy kind of attitude towards my videos, and having to respond to them and deal with them is a big headache, and seems like they're only trying to discredit me. They aren't trying to find the truth. So I made a list of the evidence that that I've put forward. Video shows loss of elasticity in growing tissue. So tissue has elasticity, and loss of elasticity can make it seem hard or rubbery. So tissue is supposed to be elastic. So when it's pulled, it's like that mattress commercial where someone jumps on one end of the bed and the wine glass stays still from spilling over on the other side of the bed. Well, that's because that mattress has elasticity, and it can bend in one area without it affecting the other area of the bed. Well, tissue has elasticity like that. You can pull on tissue on your skin, and it should move in the area of the body that you're pulling, but it shouldn't move tissue that's significantly further away because of that elasticity. So I don't know what that distance is, but I do know that I've made some videos of me pulling on my groin and put them on the web, and I believe it looks abnormal, and I believe it's a sign of tissue hardening, and embalmed tissue would be consistent with embalmed tissue. Getting back to why I'm doing this, because I feel that nobody out there, including my family, wants to know the truth, and it's not rooted in trying to hurt me. It's rooted in fear of the truth, and as well as thinking that if they ignore it, it'll go away, and if it'll go away, then they don't have to deal with it. So I think that's wrong. I wasn't brought up that way, not to care about someone else. I said some things, and I might be a little bit ashamed to say this, but I said some things that are harsh, or may seem harsh, to transgender people. Now, before I go further, I was stealth transitioner. I wanted to blend in and live the life of a genetic woman as much as I could, and as much as I thought was possible from what I had researched on the web. So in that pursuit, my outward attitude, or perceivable attitude toward other transgender people, might have been a bit harsh, because I wanted to keep my distance. If I saw someone at work that was transgendered, I definitely would keep my distance, because I was afraid someone might figure out that I was transgendered, and that's regardless of whether I was passing well or not. My background is fairly simple and easy to hide my male past, and I transitioned in a way that I could hide that past. So what I was getting at is I was fairly harsh to transgender people in the community, and they were, in my eyes, acting inappropriately toward me and toward others, and I my harsh attitude was not based in hate. It was just based in what I felt was the proper behavior for a transgender person. So if my actions have hurt other transgender people, um, I am sorry for that outcome. It was not my intent to hurt anyone's feelings, but to simply um, behave in a way that I felt uh, was what I believed in. I didn't approve of some of the things they were saying, and some of their behavior. Um, I don't have any examples right off to give, but um, it was just it's I just think that they took it the wrong way, and somewhere along in there, when I say that I don't understand how people cannot care for each other, something makes me feel like this is what this is about. It's about somebody getting me to realize how much hurt um, uh, how much hurt I have dished out, to other people, and that I'm getting what I deserve. So if that's not the case, then I'm sorry, but I have a hard time thinking otherwise because of the nature of how I've been hurt, and the timing of it, and how a world-renowned surgeon could get caught up in this. So with very little pushing, I definitely felt hesitation going to Thailand in the weeks before I went, because I knew I had exposed myself, exposed my alternate, my alias that was associated with a very outspoken transitioning transgender person. So I knew there was a risk that this doctor could be in a position to retaliate against me based on how I had seemingly hurt members of his post-op family, and but at the same time, I thought that I rationalized that it was just goosebumps from a big step in my life, and that what happened in the past was a online support forum activity, and this was real life, and it just didn't make sense why a doctor would want to take all that and materialize it into taking action against me. I didn't know anything about formaldehyde at the time, or what a tissue preservative is, and I don't think many people know what that is, except doctors and medical people. So I forgot where I was going with this, but let me check the battery. Okay, we're running low on battery power, but I want to go through the evidence that I've put forward to date. The video that's out there that shows loss of elasticity in groin tissue. Photos that show tissue deterioration over time. Thermal video, which was the quote-unquote ice experiment, where I placed a piece of ice on 2 parts of my body at the same time for the same duration, and then let the video roll and record how fast it took my body in those 2 parts to heat the tissue back to equilibrium, and the tissue in the groin took considerably longer. And the thermal video records temperature by color. So I think it was a great experiment to show that there was lack of heat generation, and that would be consistent with embalmed tissue that doesn't have any blood flow. So the thermal video, so that's another one. And then I have an MRI. Okay, I haven't shown you the MRI. I have the dissolvable sutures that fail to dissolve. Okay, and I think I have pictures that I've shown of that one. Okay, and then the things that I haven't shown are the MRI. Now this MRI was done in 2012, and I went in for pain in my groin, and he made me put a little button on where the pain was, and when he did the MRI, the button was in the MRI. So it's a little tiny button, and the button lines up where a change in contrast existed, and I believe the MRI shows the embalmed tissue and the direction of the progression or spread of that toxicity, or if you will, the embalming direction. So the MRI I haven't shown yet from 2012, and then the ultrasound from 2009 I believe shows an oil-based solution in my groin, and I came up on that realization this past year when I came upon some ultrasound photos of rats that had been injected with an oil-based vaccine, and they wanted to see how fast the vaccine was being absorbed. And what struck me was the vaccine, the oil-based vaccine, had a dark color to it, and it started looking like the darkness of this ultrasound. And so I plan on showing the ultrasound and the rat ultrasound and letting you guys make up your mind on whether my ultrasound is evidence of an oil-based solution in my groin. Okay, so that's all there is I'm going to do for today. I wish I could have been more active in my channel. I can tell you, part of that is fear of my employer, of potential employers, recruiters, people seeing my channel, of the transgender community finding out where I might be, and as well as my family. I'm trying to get close to my family, and when I make videos and I say that I don't understand why they're not helping me, then that doesn't help with that. So it's just and a lot of time is, I don't have a whole lot of time to make videos, and I had a job change that started off as a layoff, and then I had to find a new job, and I had to move, and I had to get new health insurance, and I had to find new doctors, and just all of that, and take care of my dog. So Morty's with us. Morty. that's Morty. And so thank you for watching, and this is day 2000. I'm getting low on battery power, but maybe I'll start making some videos again and get the dialogue going, because I believe that's the first step, is getting a dialogue. My condition continues to worse, as would be expected, and I've already said it in plenty of times in the past of what is going to happen if I don't get help, if I don't get medical help. Ultimately, I'm looking for medical help. I believe my health condition is so unpopular and rare that, and our healthcare system, at least in the United States, as well as probably anywhere else in the world, is just corrupt enough not to want to deal with it and be able to keep me from getting help, because I can't get a medical expert to want to take me on. I can't get that includes medical tests, other than what I've been able to get through the normal route. You know, the MRI that I was talking about, that shows that I believe shows embalmed tissue, the radiologist didn't put that in his report. He glossed over it. He didn't even mention it. You know, you've got the button that's in the MRI, and you've got the contrast next to it, and there's no mention in the report. So there's a lot of ways for doctors to fail to diagnose a patient. So I'm currently not diagnosed, and there's been no acknowledgement of my condition by anybody. So I have to make this channel. I have to make these videos, and it's unfortunate that this whole thing has happened, and I wish Dr. Suporn could come forward and own up to what he's done, and give me the treatment I need. I need my groin removed. I can't live very long unless that happens. I'm a productive member of society. I'm a software engineer. I'm a drummer. I'm playing in a band. I think I deserve better than this. I wanted a sex change. I wanted to be a woman, and I lived for 8 years. I lived for 4 years at the time of my surgery, and I was successful, and I don't deserve this. So thank you, and I will see you guys hopefully soon.